Guys, I love Stranger Things. I love the lighting in that show, the filmography. I love the setting it's in, the clothing, the time era, and I love all the colors. Like it's just such a good show. They knew what they were doing. Like I don't understand what's going on, but I'm entertained. And honestly, yeah, I'll stand by it. So as many of you might know, the newest season just came out and it just ended. There is some discourse happening around it. Now, me personally, this is a safe place. I did not mind the ending. I don't know. I thought the open ending was kind of cute. Like, yeah, okay, hold on. There are spoilers ahead. If you have not seen this, then like, don't watch because I'm not get into it. But like, I like not knowing for sure if Elle is alive or not. There's just something about putting it into your own interpretation. Honestly, I think it's the best that they could have done with what they had. Because I'm pretty sure there is a group of people that would have probably been upset that Elle lived throughout this whole thing, knowing full well that Elle, realistically, in our world, in our society, Elle would not be alive. She would not be free. She would be imprisoned and tested on for forever, which is what they were leading to with her, like, I guess, her ending. But then there's also the other half of the community that's like, no, we love her. She should get the happy ending, and it's just a show. So like, what's the big deal? You know, like, just let her be happy. Regardless, I like the ending. So sorry, sue me, but like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But anyways, we're not here to talk about the ending. There's just something that's just been happening, and it's just like, what? There's just something that's just a little like off, you know? Like it's just like, you know, you're watching the show and you're like, this is just happening, you know? Like, no one, no one, no one hears like the monsters in the background, like, you know? The weird thing about this show that's even stranger than, you know, the aliens is how blissfully ignorant the people of Hawkins are. You're not hearing the like a 500-foot tall spider monster that's like on top of the mall breaking down everything and that's like screaming and running and chasing a car that's like going like full speed. Like I don't know. Like yeah, I guess like technically speaking, it's not like in the town, but like girl, you know, like yeah, they kind of explain a lot of stuff in that show. Like the whole point is like, oh yeah, they tell the newspaper something different and people are like, oh my god, it's a disease, but like you can't really, you know, like how you gonna explain that one? Like that's not Ebola, that's not the flu, like that's like you know, it's close to a parasite, but girl, actually it is a parasite, low key. But anyways, in every single season there has been something that has happened that's just like, we're just gonna ignore this. Like imagine you're a citizen of Hawkins, you know, you're in the Midwest, you know, it's in the 80s, so you're doing nothing, so you're just existing. There's no arcade to go to out there, even though there is one, but you get my point. Like it's just like there's nothing to do out there, so like kids are playing outside and the adults are outside and no one is like, people are camping, there's like hillbillies, like, you know, like this, it's the hippie era, they're hugging the trees, they're out in the forest, and you tell me no one out in the forest is getting these monsters? Like no one. And besides, like, okay, hold on, let's do this chronologically. So season 1 is a demogorgon, right? So people are just disappearing because the demogorgon is just like taking people, and you're like, yeah, it only took like what, Barbara, and like who really knew Barbara, and then who else did it take? I don't know, Mike, but like who, not Mike, hello, Will, but who knows Will, like except for his friends, and they're the ones that are involved, so it's like they don't really count. But like the demogorgon, I don't think took anybody else. If it did, then like no one was like, hey, so my son is like missing for like 5 weeks and I don't know what happened. He just was, he went to like play in the park and then he's disappeared, and I don't know, he really just took those two people, like, okay. And if he didn't, no one is gonna put up like missing kid posters, like. But then we have season 2, and season 2, what happened in season 2? Okay, so we're skipping season 2 because I don't remember anything that happened in season 2, honestly. the season 3, and it's the mall season, and the mall season low key is the one that got me thinking because like I don't know, there's a humongous mind flayer bug thing. Like he's out in the wild, and like no one even like thought of like calling animal control for that thing. Like I mean, I get it. You would see that, you'd be like, that's not animal control. That's like that needs military. But no one even called the military for that. I don't know. No one else heard the like there were houses in the scene. Yeah, maybe they were like a few acres apart, but no one else heard the mind flayer screaming and like attacking these kids and then the kids screaming. Like no one like they really heard that and they just said, listen, like that's not my problem. Like, and honestly, I really can't blame them because if I personally heard like a screech that sounded like the devil himself has come from hell to pick me up, yeah, maybe I too would mind my business. Like maybe I just like listen. Would I have nightmares? Yeah, but I would listen. If it's not coming for me, then maybe it really is not my business. Like maybe the citizens of Hawkins are onto something because I probably wouldn't do that thing either. And when they were walking away into like the mind flayer where Billy was or whatever and the girl and they became like goo, no one followed the people. Like no one, like there was a little kid, like a little boy that went and followed the mind flayers calling or whatever, and it's like the mom wasn't like, hey, where are you going? And then when he wasn't answering, she didn't follow. Like no one said, hey, let me follow my dad into this alleyway because what is he doing, you know? And then season 4, obviously, like the whole thing happened with like the ground, and they're still thinking like, oh yeah, this is devil stuff. Like, girl, be so for real. Like, be so for real. What does the devil have to do with Hawkins? Like the cult, yo, honestly. I don't know. Like, y'all really blaming it on the devil and cults? Like, kids in a cult? Like, huh? Like, no. Like, I get it. It's hard to, like, be like, oh, whatever. Like, it's just aliens. And, like, obviously, it's not even aliens. Actually, I guess it kind of is aliens, because technically, aren't they out of space now? Or, like, confirmed or whatever in the final season? But anyways, no one, like, these kids are levitating and just, like, dying. And, like, we get it. That's weird. But, like, not even that's weird, but like that's not normal. Like that's not, I don't know, like this is some like magician like cult stuff. Like this is like no. If someone flew up and like their eyes popped out of their head and their limbs cracked in front of me, I would think, oh my god. Actually, yeah, I don't know what I would I would run, and then 2, I probably wouldn't tell the cops. Honestly, you know what? The more I'm saying this, the more I'm realizing maybe the people in Hawkins were onto something. Like maybe in real life, no one would care either. Not care, but like, what are you gonna do? So instead of worrying about what you're gonna do, just like pretend it didn't happen and just go about your day. Just be like, oh my god, yeah. So I just saw this girl levitate and she just like kind of like died and all her limbs cracked in front of me. But like, you know, I had to get groceries, so like I didn't have time to deal with it, so I just kind of, you know, whatever. But anyways, and then the final season, obviously, like they know what's happening. But like honestly, also like the citizens did nothing. They just exist while these kids fight for the millionth time for their lives. The military also does nothing but make their lives harder, which is like, you know, typical military, but let's not. It's just weird because, I don't know, like imagine you live in Hawkins in the Midwest in the 80s with nothing to do but like be nosy because, you know, that's fun. And you just hear something in the distance and you're not gonna check, like you're not gonna check it out. Like I get it, like yeah, maybe like, you know, the minorities won't, but like, you know, like that shows like 80% white people, they're gonna check it out, right? Like they're gonna be like, oh my god, what is that? And it's like, girl, but you know, no tea, no shade, but like I don't know, it's not adding up. Like, it's just, I mean, maybe it is. Personally, I wouldn't check it out, but I feel like where they are and who they are, they might have probably most likely have tried to check it out. And yeah, no, I don't know. Anyways, I had a thought, and I just figured, you know, if anyone else had this thought, because like Surely it's not just me that thinks that like the people of Hawkins are a little too like content with their situation. Like they're just too dense. They don't know what's happening. They don't care that they don't know what's happening. They don't bother to learn anything. Yeah, no. Anyways, I like the ending. That's not what this video is about. I'm more so concerned about the actual people that live in Hawkins because they seem to be worse off than the whole upside down aliens. Maybe I'm the only one thinking about this, but surely not. Surely someone else has like was thinking the same thing of like, why is no one saying nothing? Because why is no one saying anything? But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.